So the official Social Security numbers for 2026 are in, and on the surface, it looks like good news. A raise is coming. But for millions of seniors, that raise is going to feel more like a mirage. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden Social Security trap that can make your extra money completely vanish before it ever even hits your bank account. Let's get into it. And here it is, the official number, 2.8%. That's the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for 2026. You're going to see this percentage all over the headlines. It's supposed to help your benefits keep up with inflation. But let's be real, percentages don't pay the bills. So what does this 2.8% actually mean for your wallet? Well, for the average retiree, that percentage works out to about an extra $56 a month. 56 bucks. Now, it might not be a life-changing amount, but hey, it could mean a little less stress at the grocery store, or maybe help with the utility bill that keeps creeping up. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, this is where the story starts to get complicated. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Before you even think about how to spend that extra $56, you need to know about something that experts are calling the COLA trap. It's this nasty combination of automatic deductions and shockingly outdated rules that means for a ton of seniors, that 56 bucks just disappears. So let's follow the money. And this is what we mean by the COLA mirage. That headline number, it feels real. But when we actually do the math, the picture changes, and it changes fast. Because of all these built-in cost increases, what actually lands in your pocket could be way less than you expect. For many, that $56 is going to shrink to under $40. And for some, it's going to be close to nothing at all. Let's start with the very first deduction. So, the very first place your raise goes, it's not your pocket, it's the Medicare system. As anyone on Social Security already knows, your Medicare Part B premiums get taken right out of your check automatically. And in 2026, that deduction is taking a much bigger bite than usual. Okay, so let's start here again. $56, this is our baseline, the gross amount, the number before anyone takes a piece of it. Keep that $56 in your head as we bring in the first big deduction. And boom, here it is, the Medicare Sting. The standard Part B premium for 2026 is expected to jump up to $202.90 a month. That's almost an $18 increase from last year. $18 that are immediately subtracted from your raise just to cover rising healthcare costs. So what does that do to our 56 bucks? Well, after that nearly $18 Medicare premium hike gets taken out, your $56 raise is suddenly just $38. Just like that, about a third of your entire cost of living adjustment is gone, swallowed up by the healthcare system before you ever even see it. You can see it right here, plain as day. The gap between what's announced and what you actually get is huge. The government says, here's a $56 raise, but the reality after just one deduction is $38. And just think about someone on a tighter budget. Maybe their raise was only $42 to begin with. After Medicare takes its share, they're left with just 24 bucks to fight a whole year's worth of inflation. And believe it or not, the premium hike isn't the whole story. The annual Part B deductible, that's what you have to pay out of pocket before Medicare even starts to pay, is also climbing, up to $283. That basically wipes out your net COLA for months. And if you're a higher earner, these IRMA surcharges can add hundreds more to your premium, potentially erasing your COLA completely. You know, this quote just says it all. It perfectly captures that feeling of frustration. The system gives you a little boost with one hand to help you keep up, but then your costs rise right alongside it with the other, leaving you, well, right where you started. It's exhausting, but the Medicare Sting is only part one of this trap. There's another, sneakier deduction still to come. Okay, so beyond healthcare costs, there's this other thing, a much quieter predator waiting for your raise, the IRS. This is where a sneaky little problem called bracket creep comes into play. And believe me, it's trapping more and more seniors every single year. This right here is the heart of the problem. The rules that decide if your Social Security benefits can be taxed were written in 1984. Just think about that for a second. 1984. The price of everything, a house, a car, a gallon of milk, has gone through the roof since then. But the income levels for taxing your benefits, they've been frozen in time for over 40 years. So what in the world is bracket creep? Well, think of it this way. You get a raise, like the COLA, to help with inflation. But that raise pushes your total income over a tax threshold, a threshold that hasn't been adjusted for inflation. So your buying power hasn't actually gone up at all, but suddenly the government sees you as richer, and now you owe more in taxes. It's a classic trap. And just look at these numbers. They're from 1984. If you're a single filer and your income crosses just $25,000, up to half of your Social Security can be taxed. For a couple filing together, that line in the sand is $32,000. I mean, come on, in 2026, those are not high income levels by any stretch. Yet millions of seniors are getting pushed over these ancient lines by their own COLs. So when you put it all together, the financial hit is real. First, Medicare takes its $18. Then you might owe another 10, maybe 15 bucks in new taxes thanks to bracket creep. All of a sudden, your $56 raise is looking a lot more like $20 in actual spendable cash. The system literally gives you a raise and then uses that very same raise as an excuse to take more money from you. Okay, so I know this all sounds pretty disheartening. It really does. But knowing about this trap is the absolute first step to dealing with it. So now we're going to shift gears. Let's stop talking about the problem and start focusing on a financial defense plan. Clear steps you can take to prepare and protect your benefits. Here are 4 things you can do right now. First, don't wait for a surprise in the mail. Log into your My Social Security account on the SSA.gov website. You can see your official 2026 notice right there. It'll show your exact new payment. Second, get a handle on your provisional income and see how close you are to those tax thresholds. Third, if you're worried, talk to a tax professional. And fourth, look into programs like the Medicare Savings Program. They can really help eligible seniors with those premium costs. So, we've done all the math, we've broken it down, but this is the one question that truly matters. When you look at your own budget after all the deductions are taken out, is a net raise of $38, or for many people, even less, is it actually enough to keep up with the rising cost of everything? That's the reality behind the headlines, and it's a conversation we all need to be having. Thanks for joining me.